mother of a 10-year-old Delaware County girl who died from a TikTok challenge is now suing the social media giant.
YouTube says it's taking down clips that show people taking bites of those pods.
This is based on a TikTok trend where people cook their poultry in over-the-counter cough medicine.
If you've been on the internet, you've most likely experienced or even participated in a social media trend. For example, doing different types of viral dancing, eating certain foods like the One Chip Challenge, or even raising awareness like the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. These trends are all made for fun and can be considered harmless. But what happens when trends are taken too far? The internet has its fair share of dangerous and outright stupid social media trends, like cooking chicken in cough syrup, recording yourself being choked until you black out, or even making false criminal reports to the police. This is social media's most dangerous trends. Art of sunburns. Have you ever gone to the beach and fell asleep with something on your body only to wake up with that thing imprinted on you? Well, in 2015, a trend would gain popularity known as the Sunburn Art Challenge. This challenge would encourage people to put lotion or certain objects in a pattern, then lay out in the sun until they had a sunburn. This would result in a temporary design being imprinted onto their skin. This would lead people to take pictures of their sunburn art and post it onto social media. And some of these designs were actually pretty creative, like this Batman, these cool patterns, thug life, and the Mona Lisa? Okay, I'm not actually sure if that one's real though. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand why this trend is dangerous. This trend would get the attention of the Skincare Foundation after noticing all the photos and videos of sunburn art being posted to social media. They would issue out a response to help spread awareness of the dangers of this trend. It reads, "Sunburns cause DNA damage to the skin, accelerate skin aging, and increase your lifetime skin cancer risk. In fact, sustaining 5 or more sunburns in youth increases lifetime melanoma risk by 80%. On average, a person's risk of melanoma doubles if he or she had more than 5 sunburns." The American Cancer Society would also chip in to spread awareness, in which they released a statement educating that the ultraviolet rays in sunshine damages the DNA inside skin cells, making them more likely to turn cancerous. In 2015, there was over 80,000 cases of melanoma, which is the most dangerous form of skin cancer. From this, over 8,000 deaths were reported. Though this most likely isn't from the sunburn challenge, as it could take anywhere from months to over 20 years for a skin cancer to develop. This trend seemingly didn't last long and hasn't been a thing since it first got popular in July of 2015, although a new version of this trend has gained a little bit of traction over the year. People instead would use makeup to give the illusion of a sunburn, which is far more safer than the trend back in 2015. Though sunburn art is a challenge that could have long-term implications, but isn't nearly as dangerous as this next trend. Sleepy chicken. If I were to ask you how you like your chicken cooked, what would be your answer? Fried? Grilled? Maybe dino nuggets? Well, if you asked people 2 years ago, they would say NyQuil chicken. If you're not familiar with this challenge, people on the trend would post videos of them boiling chicken using over-the-counter cough medicine, hence the name NyQuil chicken. Satire pictures would start popping up on the internet, and I don't know if it's just me, but these look like something you would find out of Shrek's swamp. Though you might be thinking to yourself, why is NyQuil chicken dangerous? In most of these videos, they use entire bottles of NyQuil, which is blatantly dangerous as you can overdose by ingesting too much. But this isn't even the most dangerous part of the trend. Most, if anyone, is actually eating the chicken. It's the cooking and boiling process that is extremely dangerous. The FDA released a statement saying, "Boiling a medication can make it much more concentrated and can change its properties in other ways. Even if you don't eat the chicken, inhaling the medication vapors while cooking could cause high levels of the drug to enter your body that could also end up hurting your lungs." Many videos of people taking part in the NyQuil chicken trend would gain the attention of media and news outlets expressing their horrors, though it isn't clear how many people were actually taking part in this trend, as YouTube and TikTok took action to remove and ban all videos participating in the trend. Even NyQuil would release an official statement regarding the trend, stating that they do not endorse inappropriate use of their product. Also, with a trend so dangerous in concept, there would be no cases of hospitalizations or death related to NyQuil chicken, unlike our next trend. Candy pods. One of the biggest trends in 2018 was the Tide Pod Challenge.
Teenagers are putting detergent pods in their mouths and posting the videos online.
Honestly, one of the stupidest challenges to ever exist, people would record themselves eating the colorful laundry detergent packets, which would explode in their mouth, causing a reaction. Although this challenge may seem harmless at first, but if we dive into what is actually inside of these pods of soap, your mind might change. Laundry pods are made of highly concentrated detergent with a variety of chemicals. Tide Pods, which are mainly used for this challenge, contain 90% active ingredients and 10% water. So in simpler terms, it's just a pod of dense cleaning chemicals that can cause severe burns to the esophagus or respiratory tract, along with severe vomiting and breathing issues. In January of 2018 alone, Poison Control Center dealt with 59 cases in which teenagers were taking part in the Tide Pod challenge. That's as many cases as in all of 2016. Sadly, with these pods being bright and colorful, children and seniors with dementia would mistake them for candy, leading many to be hospitalized, and was the cause for 10 deaths between the two age groups. P&G, the parent company of Tide Pods, would warn people the dangers of taking part in this challenge. A statement by the company reads, "They should not be played with. Even if it's meant as a joke, safety is no laughing matter." Tide would also release a video featuring Rob Gronkowski of the New England Patriots discouraging this trend.
What the heck is going on, people? Use Tide Pods for washing, not eating.
Even YouTube and Facebook would step in, removing material showing people who have posted videos of the challenge. All this led to safety improvements for the product. Tide Pods were strengthened to reduce the chance of them bursting when squeezed. They also included child safety features in its packaging and extensive warnings. Finally, they would also change the packaging and the dull color of the pods to make them less attractive. But nothing is more dangerous and sad than our next challenge: the Blackout Challenge. The internet can be a great place where you can learn anything your mind can imagine. You can watch hours of cute cat videos and even order products from around the world. But not everything on the internet is all sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes, when a dangerous trend gains popularity, it can influence the younger generation to take part in the trend. This would be the case for a 10-year-old girl who tried the Blackout Challenge. The Blackout Challenge, or otherwise known as the choking game, is a trend that gained popularity on TikTok in 2021. The trend encouraged people to record choking themselves until they lost consciousness. The purpose is you're supposed to experience a sort of high or feeling of euphoria. But I cannot stress enough the dangers of this trend. You're cutting off oxygen to your brain that has a chance to cause permanent brain damage and even death in some cases. Many people trying this challenge were mainly among children who can be easily encouraged to take part in it. Unfortunately, this trend has been linked with at least 20 deaths. Sadly, a 10-year-old girl died after attempting the Blackout Challenge. It was reported that this trend was recommended to her on her For You page on TikTok. The videos often encouraged the viewers to participate and share their attempts online. This tragic event led to the 10-year-old's mother to sue TikTok, arguing that the algorithm's design and content recommendation contributed to her daughter's death. The mother claimed that TikTok intentionally pushed out content that could influence user behavior, like the video her daughter was being recommended. TikTok would push back, saying that they are protected under Section 230, which shields the company from any content users post on the platform. While doing more research on this case, it seems like the case is still ongoing. This final trend is one that can not only land you behind bars, but can endanger the life of innocent people. FBI, open up. When it comes to the internet, you may have heard of a term called swatting. What is that, you ask? It's a hoax to harass mainly streamers in which the caller makes a report of a falsely violent crime to the police. This triggers a large police response that includes armed officers and SWAT team members. All of this is to see the streamer get harassed on camera.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Get on the ground! Get on the ground now! Get on the ground!
There's one in the corner.
Put your hands behind your back! Hands behind your back! Get out!
You might have heard stories of your favorite streamers who have been victims of swatting, most notably XQC, iShowSpeed, Pokimane, and Ice Poseidon. All of these streamers have had their personal information exposed and leaked by hackers online that use doxing, location services, or IP addresses of the victim to gain their home addresses and other sensitive information. One of the most tragic cases of swatting is the story of Tyler Barris. He has now become known as the Call of Duty swatter and has been sentenced sentenced to 20 years in prison for his actions. In 2017, Barris was playing Call of Duty with a friend. The two would wager $1.50 on the game, but this had led to some sort of dispute between the two. Things from this point would turn for the worse. Barris made a false report to law enforcement, claiming there's been a shooting and kidnapping at his friend's house. Unknowingly to Barris, he provided law enforcement the wrong address, and when they arrived at the provided address, they shot and killed an unarmed and innocent man.
I shot him in the head and he's not breathing anymore.
Sentenced today to 20 years behind bars after pleading guilty for a swatting prank that turned deadly.
Barris would plead guilty to 51 federal charges and was indicted on numerous other charges in relation to other swattings, credit card fraud, and bomb threat hoaxes to schools and federal agencies. The victim's family has also sued the city in which this tragic event took place and the officers involved. The internet is a place that can bring many positive things and can offer many opportunities, but can hold a slew of dark, disturbing, and outright dangerous things. Learning from the dangers of the internet and the trends that take place can help lead to a safer and more enjoyable experience. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more, consider subscribing to help grow this culture we're creating, and maybe even check out this video YouTube will think you'll like. Till next time, have a great day. Peace!